Hello everyone, welcome to the Link to the Past Super Metroid crossover basics video. In this video we will be covering the tech basics for Super Metroid. We'll also be covering some Link to the Past, but it will be very Super Metroid heavy, primarily for people who are new to the game. We'll be covering stuff like Mockballs, short hop Mockballs, short charge shinesparks, damage boosting. We'll be covering the Hell Run, a Lava Dive. We'll be covering the Gravity Suit. Gravity Suit is not vanilla. And we'll also be doing bomb jumps. For Link to the Past, we'll be covering the basics, the minor glitches such as fake flippers, navigation like dark rooms, item dashing. In the description of the video, there will be timestamps that list all the techniques that are displayed, so just keep an eye on that to jump to whatever you need to. And without further ado, let us get started.
It is important to note that the landing site is a great area to practice many of the movement techniques that will be displayed in this video. For Mockballs, it's actually a pretty basic set of movement. If you've ever played Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, then you already know how to do this movement if you've played Sub-Zero or the Hadouken, which is Ryu. To do Mockball, all you do is you're holding jump as Samus is coming down. You are holding down, so Samus is in her facing down position. And then as you land, you roll your down into a forward. If the Mockball is successful, you will notice that Samus is maintaining her momentum and is moving along the same speed as you were running before you did your Mockball. If you fail, then your momentum will come to a complete stop, or Samus will bounce. Short hop Mockballs work the same way as regular Mockballs, only that you do shorter jumps to do the Mockball. And it's only different because you have to let go of the jump button and then repress and hold the jump button to do your Mockball. It's the exact same principle otherwise. I would also like to point out that the speedway here is a great place to practice the short hop Mockballs just because of the low ceiling. Bomb jumping is a very simple mechanic. It involves propelling yourselves upwards with just bombs. To initiate it, you want to mid-air morph or use spring ball, and you'll want to place your first bomb about a tile and a half to 2 tiles from the apex, the peak of Samus's jump. And then as she falls back down, the bomb will explode and propel her upwards. And then every time Samus falls down to her previous bomb is when you want to place your next bomb. Short charging abuses a mechanic in Speed Booster where you're able to attain echoes before you're supposed to. You initiate it by walking or stuttering for a step, and then you press and hold the run button. And by doing so, you're able to build up your speed counter sooner and attain echoes. Mid-air morphing underwater is an extremely simple concept. Because of your increased gravity, you have more time to morph in mid-air underwater than you would under any other situation. This only applies to 2 rooms, the Bubble Crab Supers, which you'll see here, and in Bottoon's energy tank location. You have to do mid-air morphs because bomb jumping does not work underwater. The bombs will not propel you. If you have spring ball, you can use that instead. The damage boosting aspect can happen because of Samus being thrown into a knockback when she takes damage. Damage boosting is a mechanic in Super Metroid that allows Samus to propel herself backwards from where she is facing. To do so, you must hold your jump button as you when you're already taking damage, and then press and hold the opposite direction of which you are facing just after you take the damage. If you press the opposite direction before you take damage, Samus will just turn around and not be propelled in either direction. She'll just stay where she is. It is worth noting that damage boosting can be successful off of anything where you take physical damage from. It cannot be from heat damage. Wall jumping is a hidden mechanic that the Etecoons, these three little creatures here, will teach you how to do. To wall jump, you must spin jump towards a wall, and then start to move away, and then press your jump button again. You can very quickly scale many walls. This room is the tutorial on how to do that. Gravity jumps abuse a mechanic in turning off the gravity suit that allows you to keep either your forwards, downwards, or upwards momentum depending on which direction you're going. If you wait till the last possible moment to start a jump as you go to your menu, you can get more height from your jump. The gravity suit has seen the most changes. Among them, it no longer adds any environmental protection damage, so anything like spikes or acid is the same as wearing the power suit. You take full damage. It also doesn't have any heat protection, so in heated rooms in Norfair, for example, you will take damage wearing gravity if you don't have Varia. As a bonus, I will also show you how to do the Crystal Flash. Crystal Flash is a hidden mechanic in Super Metroid. You can see it during the intros. You need to have 50 or less energy, nothing in reserves, and you need at least 10 missiles, 10 supers, and 11 power bombs current. Not maximum, current, in your ammo counts to execute. To do it, you have to morph, lay a power bomb, hold R, L, down, and your shot button, and keep holding them. Do not move, and Samus will execute the Crystal Flash and refill 1500 health at the expense of those 10 missiles, 10 supers, and 10 power bombs. It's 11 because you need 1 to lay it, and then 10 more as part of the Crystal Flash. The green gate glitch is dubbed so because you can open a gate from the wrong side. This mostly applies to gates facing left, either blue or green, blue for beams and green for super missiles, but it also applies to one gate facing right in pink Brinstar. To open gates on the facing left side, you have to spawn a missile or a super missile on the gate sensor. And to do that, you'll want to stand a couple of pixels away from the edge of the gate so you're not flush up against it. And what I personally do, I find this to be the easiest method, is to jump up and press left E just as you hit the ceiling, and then shoot just as you hit the ceiling. So it's basically a left and shoot motion as you hit the ceiling. You can either use missiles or super missiles on blue gates. For green gates, you must use super missiles because it is the only thing that will open the gate. For hell runs, we will first cover the Ice Beam hell run. This particular hell run has 3 energy tanks in its logic, which means the game will not consider you doing Ice Beam until you have 3 energy tanks, either a combination of a reserve or energy tanks. And to do it, we actually start in the previous room, which is not heated. There are 2 gates that close on you. You'll want to do a Mockball under the second gate. The first gate you can just run through, but it is the next room with the hovering monsters, and then the following room with the face monsters. The room with the face monsters, the first jump, with or without high jump, you can just jump straight up and morph, do a metamorph into the little ledge. You will not have any trouble getting up there. To reach the Ice Beam from there, if you do not have high jump, you'll have to wall jump left or right. Keep in mind that the face monster on the left will actually interfere with the wall jump, so you'll want to either wall jump underneath or over, or jump from the right side, which could also be difficult. If you have high jumps, all you have to do is metamorph to get to the Ice Beam. To do the Ice Beam escape, you will need to either do a short hop Mockball, potentially freezing one of the 2 hovering monsters, which will give you just enough speed to get under the closing gate, or else you will need some kind of a bomb, either power bomb or regular bomb. Screw attack in this case would not help because it will only break the ceiling tile. The floor tile that will let you escape along the ceiling route will not be breakable by screw attack, so you must have bombs. The second part of the Hell Run covers the run to Bubble Mountain. This particular run has 5 energy tanks in its logic, which means you must have some combination of reserve energy tanks adding up to 5. And for this first leg, we will actually show it without high jumps, which means we'll have to bomb jump up, or use a super missile to bounce the Nova down so you can freeze it when you get up. The lava dive to Lower Norfair is actually much easier than it seems. It is merely daunting. You only need 2 energy tanks as shown, and there are 2 methods to do this. The first one being shown is what we call the card weaver jump. You'll jump straight into the Namihei fireball, take 100 damage, which would normally kill you. That will trigger your reserve tanks. And because of a quirk with reserve tanks, you don't break out of your animation. So you can just continue wall jump up. I should mention real quick that the card weaver jump, as we've dubbed it, requires a reserve tank with energy in it. The other method is you would cut your jump just short of hitting the fireball, wall jump just below the Namihei face, and then wall jump up. By the logic of the randomizer, you'll never be forced into a dark room situation. A dark room is when you do not have a lamp, and some rooms in the game are not lit. With a lamp, you'll have a little light cone surrounding Link. However, if you have a general idea of the room layout, you can hold your sword out and navigate your way around the room and find your way to the next exit. It should also be mentioned that any item you pick up under these circumstances will be considered a sequence break, because you do not have land energy required to pick it up. Fake flippers is the game getting confused with itself. Normally when you don't have flippers, the game ejects you out and puts you back on the land where you jumped out from. However, if you transition to another screen 1 frame after you jump into water, the game will keep you in the water and put you in a state known as fake flippers. This allows Link to swim around and do whatever he wants as if he had normal flippers. However, there are some drawbacks to this. Number 1, in the randomizer, if you take damage, you'll die. The game will just straight up kill you. Number 2, if you jump onto land, you have you probably do not have opportunity to fake flipper and get back into water. So you may have to save and quit to get out. Item dashing is a bug present in the original 1.0 Japanese version of Link to the Past, which is what this randomizer is based off of. To execute it, press your Y and your A button at the very same time. You must have Pegasus boots. And depending on the item, you will dash along using the item. Mostly useful for hammer dashes, but it does have other uses. Want to say thanks for watching. Hopefully with either the Super Metroid or Link to the Past it was helpful. If not, then I'll try and do better for you next time.